I swear every time I start a new YouTube project, I fire up the printer and forget that I'm gonna have to film, and this sound's gonna have to be in the background. Hey, what's going on everyone? Jake Ridden Tech here, and today I just wanted to make a video kind of showcasing one of my most recent prints and how it turned out. It's probably one of the most complex models I've built so far. And that leads us into the 3D modeling software I used, which is Autodesk Fusion 360, which has quickly become my most favorite 3D modeling software I've used so far. Now, I don't do 3D design and 3D modeling as a profession, but I do quite a bit of tinkering with it. I have messed with AutoCAD through school in the past, and then I've also done some just game design and messed with it a little bit, using Unity Pro Builder, a little bit of Blender. And then now that I've gotten into 3D printing recently, I started off with Tinkercad and then moved into Fusion 360. And this is by far my favorite software, as I mentioned, and maybe in general, not just for 3D printing. So like any software, when you first start off in it, your designs tend to be kind of basic, at least that's how it was for me. So I started off modeling very simple objects and organizers, like for instance, just this 2.5-inch hard drive holder, but as you can see, it's just basically a box with slots. So simple designs like that is kind of what I started out with. Another one is this. This is a mag holder for Glock magazines, but as you can see, very simple. And as I learned the software more and more, I could get a little bit more complex with my designs as I learned new features within Fusion 360 to kind of give the objects I was making a little bit more character. For instance, like this Nintendo Switch game case holder. It's actually shaped like the Nintendo Switch logo, and it's extruded all the way back to hold all your games. So definitely one of my favorite prints I've done so far. And then that moves us into the SOCOM pistol from Halo that I did recently. So that is probably by far the most complex model I've created and print that I've done. But as you can see, game props have quite a bit of detail in them, especially one like this, where there's lots of ins and outs. And this isn't a complete replica of a gun in Halo. It's kind of a rough replica of the SOCOM pistol in it, or the M6C, I believe. But I basically took a photo that I found of the original gun in the game, kind of traced it a little bit, and then just built it out from there. So also something making this model more complex was this actually is 8 separate pieces. So the slide has 2 sides to it, and then the body of it also has 2 sides, and then all the other parts like the barrel, the laser slash flashlight, the trigger, the mag, you name it. So those are all individual parts, and they all had to fit together pretty intricately, but luckily in Fusion 360 I was able to get them where they fit pretty close. I mean, it's not perfect, but it all fits together pretty well. So talking about Fusion 360, and that's kind of one of the main points of this video and why I wanted to make it, we're gonna list out 5 reasons why Fusion 360 is my favorite 3D modeling software, especially for 3D printing. So my favorite part of Fusion 360 overall is just its extremely intuitive and user-friendly design and workflow. I really like the fact that you start off with a 2D sketch, kind of drawing it out on a flat plane, and then you start to extrude it and build it into a 3D model from there. It's very intuitive, and I feel like it's how the mind naturally works, because whenever you're thinking of designing something, a lot of times it starts off on a piece of paper and just, you know, kind of stick figure type sketches and stuff, and getting rough measurements. So I feel like Fusion 360 does kind of incorporate that, starting off in a 2D workspace, and then once you start extruding things, you're moving on into a 3D model from there. So this kind of goes with reason number 1, but it's just reason number 2 is its ease of use. I found it very, like I said, intuitive. Everything kind of makes sense the way the software is laid out, and I find it pretty easy to use. And even for somebody that hasn't touched 3D modeling before, I feel like they can figure it out pretty quick. And I might be kind of biased on this because in the past I have used AutoCAD in school and stuff, and I learned that a little bit. And a lot of the features that I remember from AutoCAD are actually in Fusion 360, but I mean, I definitely wasn't an expert on it. So, and then coming back to it, I felt like it was pretty easy to pick up, but probably for a lot of people it would be. So reason number 3 is all the features in Fusion 360. I mean, it is a professional 3D modeling software in my opinion, and I'm sure many would also agree with that. When I started off doing this stuff in Tinkercad, I noticed, you know, I was kind of limited on things I could do. People have created some pretty amazing things in Tinkercad, but moving on into Fusion 360, there's a lot more features that really gave my models more and more character as I would create them. So those added features definitely open up a door for more and more opportunities for your designs. Also too, in the create drop down, there are tons of different features in there. I say tons, but there's a pretty hefty drop down list of things like extrusions, coils, threads, all sorts of things in there to check out and to get kind of expand on your design ideas. And then there's also different workspaces, which are pretty neat. I've really only messed with the design workspace and the render workspace, which are probably some of the two most common, but there's also some for like assembly and other things like that that I haven't quite learned yet. So reason number 4 why I like Fusion 360 so much is for personal, non-commercial use. It is free. I don't know if it's just for a year or if it's for a extended amount of time or forever. I'll definitely have to check on that because I've seen kind of people have mixed thoughts about that. I've heard from some people it's 1 year, and then I've heard some people say it's lifetime, but I'm not exactly sure, so I definitely will have to double check on that. And reason number 5 why I really like this software, and I didn't think this was going to be a feature that I use much, but the cloud storage system. So Autodesk Fusion 360 does work on a cloud system. You create an account and you can download it on different systems. So like right now I have it downloaded on my desktop back there, and then I also have it on my laptop. And when you go from device to device, all your projects will show up when you open them as long as you're logged into your account, which is, I've used more than I thought, we'll put it that way. Actually at work, working on the flight simulator, I've printed some parts in there so I could start a project while I'm at work on my laptop, and then when I get home I can pick it back up on my desktop, which has been really nice. I didn't think I would use this feature that much, but it has come in handy. So that is going to wrap up this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I really just wanted to talk about Fusion 360 and why it's my favorite 3D modeling software right now, especially for 3D printing, and showcase some of the stuff that I've so far created in it. And I kind of wanted to show that me being pretty much a complete beginner at this, I think for like myself and a lot of other people, we can design a lot more complex things than we think, especially if we start learning a software like Fusion 360, and we can really print out some cool stuff, you know, with not much experience. If you guys liked the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more tech related videos, be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video.